Hello, love warriors, and welcome back to another episode of Bursting with Energy. I am your host, Jess Flo, legacy coach and spiritual guide, and this is where we talk energy. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. This platform is all about talking about cost-free tips on how to increase energy in all areas of life. So right now we're in the series of In the Mind of Men and Women, where we're breaking down the dynamic of the two. The point is to basically bring about unity and acknowledge the ways in which you, ancestors, and as collectively, we've been divisive. So it's really to talk about how we can find harmonious relationships and understand the dynamic between both men and women. So instead of the perpetuation of inherited conflict and oppression, we are talking about how to heal that. So it's not about blame, but coming together and unwinding the patterns between what brought us here. Make sense, guys? Yes? All right, so we're going to start. So with me today, I have Guy, Sante, Cindy, Alicia, and Trish. So we're just going to start with a meditation, like always. Then we're going to go into a game. It's going to be the Butter Me Up game. And then we're going to end with our discussion. So I have 3 topics that I want to bring up for our discussion, and then I'll break it down as we go through it. Are you guys ready for a meditation? All right, so everyone get comfortable. Our meditation is basically going to be a heart connection. So what you're doing is you're breathing in 4 seconds, you're holding 4 seconds, you're breathing out 4 seconds, you're holding 4 seconds. We're going to do this 10 times. So I will be counting. Everyone ready? Relaxed? All right. So you can close your eyes, open your eyes, whatever is more comfortable for you. So we will breathe in now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did that feel, guys? Was that okay, Sante? You kind of looked a little bit. Were you good? But was it good? Like, you feel like if you do struggle with it, it's just like calming your body. Sometimes we have anxiety, and so it's a lot harder for us to like control the hold or the inhale, the exhale. So just practicing it, holding your heart helps as well too, because then you can feel your heart beating. You were daydreaming, so was it like? That's all we can do. Learn. Everyone else, how did it feel? Good. Yeah. That's why the countdown is supposed to help. So it was good. It's basically, yeah, exactly. Hold the reps. All right, so we're gonna play the game Butter Me Up. So how we did it last year was that each person complimented another person. What we're gonna do it, how we're gonna do it this time is that we're gonna be complimenting the opposite gender. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute, and you're gonna say, what do you love about men? And it has to be a general enough statement that it can be for all men. What you guys have to say is, what do you love about women? So an example, and I want you guys to go deep with your compliments. So I love women because they are shapeshifters. Why are they shapeshifters? Because they're in tune with them. They're in tune with the moon. Duh. Let me fit. They're in tune with the moon, and so how there's different phases of the moon, there's different parts of a woman as the days go by as well. So that's why it's my compliment. It's an example. That's why I love women. For men, why do I love men? Because they're goal oriented. They're always going to go for the thing that interests them the most. So by their actions, you're always going to know what interests them the most at that time. It might not be something that you like, maybe. Cindy, it might not be the interest you want them to, but they're going to show you what their interest is at that moment. So goal oriented. Does everyone get the rules? I love the faces on this panel right now. Okay, we'll do ladies first. Since you guys are 3, I'll give them a minute, and then I'll give you guys a minute 30. A minute 30. Yeah.
Can you tell me?
We'll do like this, okay, and then keep going until the minute is over.
So when you say men and women, are you talking
No, just men. Yes.
What
What do you love about men?
Are you talking about the natural physical attributes, or are you talking about the
It could be physical, it could be social. All of that. All of that. It's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
problem with gender biases and what they bring in society? So it's like it's a bit complicated, but
What do you love about men? It could be your idea. What do you love about men? I didn't want to go into what do you love about masculine energy. I really wanted it to be what do you love about men? What do you love about women? Okay? Ready? Go. We'll start with Trish.
I thought it was the timing was about to start for us to think.
Do you guys want to think about it a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. The men, are you ready or no?
I can say it.
So should you guys want to start? No, we'll start with you.
One at a time.
Yeah. So we'll start with you guys then. 1 minute. Ready? Go. Clinical research.
Well, like marketing, music, etc. You're definitely making a change.
Clinical research. Yes. I'll let you talk.
Men are interested in things, women are people. That characteristic of you is just unbelievable. And that's something that actually every man dreams to have. To know that you have someone next to you that they have too. Not as a housemate, but more like however, in that creation, you're good at some stuff.
As a whole unit.
As a whole unit, and what you're good at is just something that I know personally. First, I don't want to do. Second, I'm sure you will do it 25,000 better than me. Femininity, the fact that you can bring child, parent, and all those little things more than that, but femininity.
The creative force. Yeah. Love it. Okay. We'll take compliment each. You want to start?
What I love about men is their perspective.
I think they bring something um, to the table that allow me to be grounded, that allow me to not sweat the small thing. If I tell my girls or my friends some stuff, they might dig into like every details, and men will just be like, it's not that deep or it's not that complicated, and they'll allow me to just sometimes just move on, carry on with life. Not everything has to be analyzed, and not everything has to be that deep. Like that.
Me would have to be how you guys love protecting the things you love. Like you guys are protectors, and if you guys really love something, you're gonna go full out on protecting that thing that you believe like is yours. So it would be the protective aspect of men.
The thing I love the most about men is the fact that every single one of them are individuals and they cannot be bucketed into a general definition. They're all unique. And because of their uniqueness, they bring like magic to the world that's really much needed. And I think that when you kind of like allow men to be full humans, as opposed to like a shell version of themselves, it is a beautiful thing to be able to see them shine into their light and to lean into that so that you can also do the same.
Yes, love it. Thank you guys for those compliments. Let us know at home in the comment section what you love about men or women, or love about men and women. You can compliment them.
Oh, damn.
But that was the butter me up gender version.
Shout out.
That was good. How did that make you guys feel?
Uncomfortable? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. No.
Jokester.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Well,
I was doing breathing exercises.
Love your answer, though, for sure.
Thank you.
I love all you guys' answers.
no, I like your ideas. I like your ideas.
The way
Better up.
this guy is being politically correct.
So everyone feeling
Yeah, I'm
good?
politically correct. I don't do that.
Laughing, so smiles is a good thing. So we're gonna go back into our discussion part. Like I said, last week was about the men's perspective, the women listening and giving their opinions. This week is more about the women's perspective and giving their opinions.
Okay.
So we're going to go into femininity first for the next 25 minutes. So each discussion is going to take about 25 minutes. Okay? And I want to show you guys a video. So Andijan is going to put it up for you guys at home in the audience. And then I'm going to show my audience in the live with me here.
You still need a timer?
Hmm?
You still need a timer?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it's fine. Everyone will just listen.
I've been doing a deep dive on the passport bros phenomenon, and here's an insight that a lot of people miss. The way these men are leaving their own countries to go to lower income countries to find wives, and they say that it's because deep dive on the passport bros phenomenon, and here's an insight that a lot of people miss. The way these men are leaving their own countries to go to lower income countries to find wives, and they say that it's because the women there are more feminine and they really value femininity in a woman. They say that the women in their own countries, they're not as feminine anymore, they're masculine, and they just don't want that in a partner. But then I look around me, my neighbors, my friends, and a lot of the women here are feminine, they're beautiful, they have a soft feminine aura, they treat their men well, they cook, they clean, they do everything. And then I realized that I'm in a high income neighborhood and their husbands, they're high earners. This just highlights how femininity has become a luxury in the US. Because it has become a luxury that a lot of men cannot afford, they go to places where femininity is the norm and not luxury. And that's okay, good for them. Bottom line is, if you're a feminine woman, you get the best pick of men in any society. Whether you're an American woman in the US or a foreign woman.
So I think it's really interesting. So there's a few things that first of all, if you don't know about Passport Bro, I encourage you to go and Google it.
Passport bro. You don't know about?
It's
You don't know
a really
passport bro?
interesting phenomenon. And there's a lot of like dynamics to it, right? I think, so if we're gonna stick to like feminine energy specifically, I think it comes with vulnerability and being allowed to be in a safe space. So for anybody to be able to be vulnerable and their true self, you have to create that environment so that people can be in that space. Well, now, if you're talking about men and women, and you have a man that may not be feeling secure at the top of their energy and how they feel about themselves, where they want to be in life, they may not be the best person to create the environment for a woman to allow themselves to be vulnerable and to be in their feminine energy. Because when you're kind of like letting go of the guard, so you're not like mixing energies, so you're letting go of the masculine energy, which ultimately is to protect yourself. You're kind of like putting that onto somebody else to do it for you. That comes with a lot of trust. But if you're not in a position to be able to receive that and to do that, then women aren't going to do that, because who is going to take away their defense mechanism to then like potentially be bombarded and not be protected by somebody else? So ultimately, you know, men do better. Do better and we'll do better.
Any comments on that before we move on to?
You want to go? I wrote it down.
Okay, we'll go to the next lady. Yeah, you
I'm
want
gonna let him talk. And
I definitely
You agree on what that might have to be better?
of course, men should always do better. But I feel like it's hard for us to like really know what like masculine energy, so she can fully be what like in her feminine energy. You know, like sometimes like really just shoot still.
I have a question.
It's kind of hard to like really focus on like this one thing, so my queen can thrive.
But ultimately, it comes back, and I think it is difficult, because when you look at it as like, okay, so what is masculine and what is feminine, it gets really hard. But when you go back to something that's pretty natural to all of us, is when we take care of people that are like vulnerable by nature, by definition. Old people, like you don't question it. You know exactly what to do. You see her struggle and you see that she's frail. Can I help you? How can I assist you? And etc. Like you come, like there's no question about it. Children, it's the exact same thing. It's like you don't have to think about it. It's just like, I need to watch out for him. Oh my God, is he sick? Is he okay? Like you don't. But when it comes to women and men, it's like we get into our heads and we're asking her, like, am I supposed to do that? Can I do this? What do I look like if I say this? Am I allowed to do it? When it's just like, stop thinking so much about it and just be in the doing of it. Because it's in the doing that you become better at it. No, you do cut me off on purpose.
I didn't want to cut you. I'm sorry. Wasn't no. When I have to, I will for sure. Don't worry about it. That wasn't intentional. How they were doing before, back in the days, in the 70s, in the 80s, because things have shifted. Things have
They were
shifted.
beating their wives.
Oh, come on. That's such a...
Do you guys agree?
I mean,
It's a low level.
but there's a
It's like that. You
It's
can
not
defer
me,
to...
It's not
you,
me saying it, because when you look at the statistics and when you finally...
what's the statistic? 50%?
I'm just
80, 20?
Am I going to finish that sentence,
Sure,
or
go
you're just
ahead.
going to finish it for me?
I just wanted you to clarify exactly what you mean by statistics.
So I'm going to say, when I'm done a sentence, I'm going to say and a sentence. Does that help? Okay.
This is the microphone.
So when you look at the statistics, right after divorces became legal in the United States, a lot of women actually exited out marriages simply because they could for the first time.
Yes.
Right? And it's not like when you say look at the 60s, the 50s and whatnot, you have to look at if these women had the choices, the actual viable option of walking away, would we have that runway of all these marriages that weren't failing? Because a divorce does not mean that a marriage has failed. A marriage fails without divorces. We just allowed them to actually exit out. So when I say that a lot of these women were being beaten, it's because a lot of the reasons why they were leaving it is because of physical abuse. So you don't want just marriage for the sake of marriages. You
I
want
agree
like
with you.
strong, healthy marriages where even if they were given the choice to leave, they would choose to stay.
But when you go to the...
Anyway, but
they
go
were
back to
bidding-
it. So that was end of sentence, just so we're clear.
Whatever. So when you go to the men were bidding all these women, like, really? Like, what's the percentage? Because
wouldn't
it's
say
easy to
all
just.
these men- I wouldn't say all these men were beating their wives. I would say more that there was also the emotional abuse. So I would keep it in emotional abuse rather than just physical abuse.
Words, both.
But
Abuse.
because my point, you gotta understand. My question came from the
They're
comment.
saying, yeah, physical abuse.
Exactly. That's the only thing. Nowadays, I understand the part that you said you don't know how to dance. You don't know, like, you meet a girl, like, you meet a guy, and should I just protect myself or whatever? All those things were there back in the days too. It's not something, a product of last year. They were there before. What were they doing back then compared to what we're doing
Okay,
today?
so like let's play this out. Okay? You know when sometimes we ask for people for we ask a child.
Yeah.
Okay? You ask a child that's obviously abuse. You can tell when a child's not well at home. Their demeanor changes, their energy changes, they're not responsive, they may be disconnected, they zone out. You can tell, we know, right? And then if that child doesn't feel safe, they will never admit it.
Facts.
But if you say something like, you're okay, and whatever happens, you get to go to grandma, you get to go to a safe place, are you okay? And they have a viable option that if they speak up, they can still feel safe and be protected, they will tell you exactly what's going on. So when you're telling these women, right, what's the difference, they actually have viable option that would allow them to continue to feel safe and protected and economically independent enough to take care of themselves and the children that came in that relationship. If the answer is no, then it's not a fair option.
Because we're still thinking about
This
North
is new
America, right?
perspective.
Because
I agree.
it's definitely like still
But-
like that way in other
And
countries.
I don't disagree with her opinion. My point is always like, is it the minority or the majority? Because it's easy to analyze the way you did it. I 100% agree with you. When you have the option of, I left.
But oh.
No, go ahead.
No, but what I'm thinking is, even if it was a minority, other women followed suit. They're like, oh, okay, it might be better. Like, if now there's the viable option, I'm thinking that option is better than the option I'm in right
And
now.
it transformed itself into incentive. Like,
Yes.
women were actually almost paid to leave
Yeah.
to a certain extent. That's why 70% or plus women, what's the thing we were talking last week? For divorce. I
Yeah,
said
that is so
It's
crazy.
riskier for men to get
Divorced by
than
women.
for-
90% of them
So
were getting
crazy,
the
I know.
child, alimony, half of the stuff, everything. The marriage contract is actually it's a bad contract for men.
I agree, but when I, as a single, independent, financially stable,
Independent to who?
self-sufficient woman who
To
makes her
who?
own money and
To
who
who?
has her own properties,
To
who has a really comfortable lifestyle, decide to go into a partnership with a man, I am losing in quality of life, not increasing.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. 'Cause
Or temporarily, you might feel
I-
temporarily until,
Can I
but there's
fin- I
other
didn't
stuff
say
that's going to
and
come out of
sentence.
it.
I didn't say and sentence. So, yes, and part of the reason for that is because you'll have men who are now divorced who will say things like, I didn't do my dishes last night because my wife wasn't here.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
Because then you
I
have-
made earlier, I made a comment
Because-
about that. It was a joke. It was satirical. But again, it's all good. I made that joke before.
And then you have men who say things like, the best thing about a woman is everything that she can do for me that I do not want to do for myself. That is the reason why by
I
entering-
disagree with that point.
I do want to, because we did talk about this last episode, so independent from who, and also why does it decrease in quality? Why not? It's supposed to amplify when you're in a relationship, right?
It amplifies it for the man.
No, why doesn't it amplify for you as well?
Well,
is
it's
what I mean.
because when I'm by myself, I only take care of this human right here. When I go into a relationship with a man, by social construct, he expects me to take care of him,
Oh,
and society expects me to take
What do
care
you mean
of
by
that
take
man.
care of?
And the household. And then it's like it's double the chores, it's double the work for half of the recognition. And they actually say, I have a girlfriend now, I don't have to do this, that, and the other.
Literally.
Right? And you've never heard a woman say, I have a boyfriend now, and all of a sudden I have less chores.
okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have to
more
mow
like-
the lawn. I don't have
There's
to.
no benefit in being in a
That's not what I
relationship?
said. That's
No,
not what
yeah,
I said. I said that my lifestyle
Based on
as
who
a
you know
single
now,
woman right now decreases by going into a relationship. I didn't say that the quality of my life does. I said that my lifestyle does.
And independent from whom? I did want to.
Unless they a boss
Like
like
as
you,
an
still.
independent human by myself, like sitting by
They would have
myself.
to be a boss
Oh,
like
I
you.
like your answer because that's not what the ladies were saying last week.
It's very different.
Well, I mean, for the chore part,
Hey,
like,
for real.
I don't know if you would consider like bringing your car to the garage or like taking out
Shoveling
the
the
garbage and
snow.
shoving it in. I don't gotta do none of that, right? because I have my boyfriend who will go take care of the car, will go take care of all the hard work, fixing the wall and stuff like that. Like those are things I would not want to do. Like I don't care about that.
So just hold on a second. So if we're gonna tabulate, you know, because as a marketer, I'm an Excel queen, right? So how often in a year does he have to take care of the car?
Talk about it.
Well, if you consider also like changing the tires and
Yeah,
stuff,
how often?
I would say like maybe like 5 max.
5
To
times
go-
a year,
to go-
right?
to go
Okay.
change the car
And
stuff like that.
like how many months in a year does he have to shovel the snow?
Just for the winter.
Okay, perfect. What else did you put on the list?
The garbages.
The garbages.
Yeah.
Okay, so how often does he go and take out the garbage?
Garbages are like
Yeah, once a
yeah,
Once a week,
twice a week. Yeah, we do a lot of garbages
Okay, perfect. So how often do you cook for him?
every day.
Okay. How often do you do his laundry?
Every day, but that's something that I would do.
Okay,
that I
but when we
prefer to do
tabulate
regularly.
the chores, I'd rather pay somebody to take care of my car.
That's a fact.
Okay.
I'd rather have somebody call and just like come fix the lighting so that I don't have to actually take care of a full-grown human 24/7 just for the benefit of that 5 times a year and that one season out of four.
But you're also
That's
gonna
what I
be-
mean. That's what I mean. And I'm not saying that I don't appreciate being in a relationship. I'm not saying I don't see the value in having a boyfriend and being in a fulfilled relationship. I want all of those things. But I'm also quite aware of the fact that I have to be in a headspace where I'm just like, you know what, Trish? You're good. Like, this is the trade-off. And the trade-off is not going to be fair. And that's part of what it comes to.
Right.
So when you ask these women who have been single for a long time, who make their own money, who get to make their own decision, to go into a relationship with men who are not willing to be vulnerable, who are not willing to be real partners, it's a tough trade-off.
What do you call vulnerable and real partners? Because before going to that
Yeah, I'm
angle,
just answering to her.
No,
We're
no,
having like a
Yeah, but
dialogue
I'm
here.
sorry.
So like, so then she can go back. You
I
can
told
be
you I would
like,
do it if I
no.
have to.
No, yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna talk about how you said that you would prefer to pay someone to do all those things, but then you would actually be paying more. Not necessarily like yes, okay, like maybe you would prefer to get paid more, but okay, example. Me, when I go bring my car to the garage,
Right.
like a very, very often, the guys are gonna flirt with me or they're just gonna make me pay like double the price just because they know that I don't necessarily know all what the actual value is.
Okay.
So they'll make you pay more
Right.
than if the man would
There you
just
go.
go do
Men
it.
take
Right.
men take advantage of them.
Yeah.
Right. So
When they
like
can.
that's
When they
assuming
can.
that most men know how to go to the garage and actually like
Yeah.
it's a big assumption because a lot like I have such strong father figures in my life and they're man. They're the kind of men that go in and they're just like and they're just like my uncles, like my grandfather, like he's no longer here, but it's like they get shit done. They come to my house just like we need to fix this, we need to fix that. I'm coming on Tuesday, like I need to layer this, like we need to sort out the paint. What do you mean it's leaking? Come on, like I'm gonna call my buddies and we're gonna come and fix this. We're gonna like okay, your bathroom, like we need
Just
to
good
go.
examples.
You know what I mean? It's like like I don't have the Wi-Fi partners, the technology partners, the TikTok experts. Like, I mean, it's okay, it's fine, you know, to each their own. But those men are rare. The men who actually know how to be the traditional men and they can build you a barn. They're not every day. And those, I'll cook for them every day. I'll cook for you. But they're not walking in the street there. It's like it's all knowledge that's viably available to like
To
the
be honest with
majority
you,
of men.
to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
This is from my perspective.
Yeah.
I've only met this gentleman twice. He definitely seems like the guy who'll be like, you need something like this in your house. You need something like that in your house. So like,
But can he do it?
I'm just saying
Yes.
like.
Can he do it?
I definitely believe.
That's the thing. That's the difference, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just like when we say they can do these things, and that's cool. But like, that's the idealistic man. But how many men in our how many men do you know in your circle, our age, that can actually go and change your winter tires on their own?
Without searching
It's
up,
a new
like,
world.
on the
Yeah.
internet, like they know it automatically.
Probably every man
Like
30 and old.
Two man.
Two,
Yeah, like two.
How old are you?
23.
You don't gravitate around men that have 35
How do you
plus.
know that? How do you know
like,
that?
it's just like,
How old is your man?
23 as well.
That's my point. He wasn't like he was brought up where the world was so civilized that he didn't have to do all those little things.
Exactly.
And
You're not helping yourself because you're saying that they
He-
don't
no,
really
he-
exist anymore.
no, they do exist,
Where
but
is
they're
it?
rare.
It is rare.
But that's what I said.
It's like also
So you
women
agree
that
with me?
but he's a
work-
traditional man though.
and also the
So you
women
agree
that
with
work.
me?
Of course, and that
Okay.
part is like men are weak now. Men are
The last
They
one
are
was like, you men are loose.
most of them actually can change a tire. When I heard that the first time, I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, like,
I'm
you
not a
learn
me-
this when you're young, but yeah,
I'm not a mechanic, but I know how I can change filters or I can change my own
Yeah.
oil.
Okay, so when we have
I'm an
that
electrician by
boyfriend that
trade.
takes my car to the garage, I'm gonna take my own car to the garage.
The nuance was
I
that
got
it
questions.
but the nuance was that what she was saying, like they might use words to just make you pay more than what you're supposed to do. That's what she said. Like they want to try to rip you off in the back
you know
end.
what's crazy? You say you want a traditional man, but like what you're saying is actually going against like what your actual like what you want in the man. So you say like you could do it like yourself, but like you say you want a traditional man. This is a traditional man right here. for me.
Okay, are you paid by him?
You got an orange
Not
juice.
even. It's so much. It's just like because like a lot of traditional women want traditional men, but then like they have certain things like they don't want a fully traditional man. Like they want a full traditional man, but then it's like they want them to be vulnerable. Well, like sometimes
Okay.
you're not gonna get that.
I agree with you.
You feel me?
I agree with you, but like, okay, so it's true for men,
Wait.
right? That we kind of like what traditional plus 2.0, right? But so do you guys. You don't want traditional mama from 1920. You want traditional mama from 2023. Right? You want a traditional woman who doesn't need you to be 100% a high income earner, but that would like it. So if you were to be it, she'll be like, okay, good, but if you're not, she's not gonna hold it against you. Right? And
He
that's
still has to be to a
traditional-
certain
and that's
level,
traditional
no matter what. He
2.0.
cannot be a bum on the
So
street.
that's what I'm saying. That's traditional 2.0. So in the same way that you want traditional 2.0, I want traditional 2.0. My 2.0s are just in different categories.
What you wearing?
Let's
Jimmy?
go to
Well, I want to hear Cindy, and I have a couple
yeah,
of
let's
questions
go
on
to
some of
Cindy
the
first.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
About this whole thing or about the
Femininity,
video?
yeah, it started with there.
And if you have an opinion about the other thing, you're welcome to share
Passport
it.
bros,
Too.
I'm telling you, it's viral.
Oh, so
Oh,
passport
God.
bros are the men that are going to other countries to get women that are more third world countries.
If you,
Third,
if you,
second
it's,
and third.
it's a new way of saying prostitution.
Hey yo. Hey.
And you get accusing me of being like no filters and like.
Oh,
So the video said that to be in your feminine energy is a luxury now.
Yeah.
And
so,
some
no,
of the-
feminine women have the pick of all men in any society. That's how she ended. That was her conclusion.
And she's white, just for
She's Asian.
context.
hey
She's Asian.
yo. Hey.
So some of the things we said is that do we really want
Microphone.
traditional women and traditional
Cindy.
men? It's off.
Oh.
No more battery.
Yes.
What did you say?
You guys were talking. So I think, the question is, do we really want traditional men and traditional women? We moved on, like we're in a completely different society. So asking women and men to be like completely, like just be in your feminine energy and just be in your masculine energy, I think this is like, it's outdated. Nobody wants to be only a feminine, in your feminine energy, and nobody wants to be in their masculine energy. Like, as a woman, sometimes I like to tap into my masculine energy. I like to be a go-getter. I like to set goals and have ambition and all that. I wouldn't want a man to provide everything for me. To have my own life and to have my own ambition is something that I do want. And I think that by constantly asking people to be like, by men asking women to be like all feminine and us women asking men to be all masculine, it's not going to work out. I think we have to set new standards. We have to stop talking about how things were happening in the past and just like
I know, yeah.
just as a society, as a new generation, set standards that will work for us. Because the old standard didn't work for our parents. Were they really happy? Were they really in like really healthy relationship? No. So let's talk.
Is it really about happiness?
She didn't end. She didn't end.
She didn't end sentence.
She didn't end sentence. When you're done, end paragraph.
I think to use our parents and the older generation as standard, we're making it all wrong because they didn't have the clue. I don't think they were necessarily happy. They were they were being in a relationship for a longer time, but like she said, was it really happy? Was it really healthy relationship that we need to compare ourselves to them? I don't think so. But so that's the thing. Do I want to be all feminine and have a man who provides for me all the time? No. I think what we need to do is like say, find a balance between the two of them. Allow men to be a little bit more in their feminine energy. Allow women to be a little bit more in their masculine energy. Because I think the
We
balance.
talked about that the first part.
I think the balance of both is going to make us more happier individual, like overall. And to find a balance, to be able to be a partner, and like me as a woman to like show a man how to tap into their feminine energy, and a man to show me how to tap more into my masculine energy, and also the opposite as a woman.
Looking at women.
To be with a man who's allowing me to be like, you don't have to be that much in your masculine energy. I can take care of some of the things, not everything, but some of the things. And as a man to be like, you don't have to be that much in your masculine energy. Like I can like go work and share financial responsibilities with you. That would be perfect. So I think being in your feminine energy shouldn't be a luxury, and the fact that you go into another country to find a woman that's more feminine, it's just it's a power dynamic. You want to be in power. You go into that country not because she's more feminine. She has less option than I have. And you want a woman that has less option because you want to manipulate that woman and make her feel like, you need me. That's why you're going to be with me.
Clinical
Don't
research came out
Yeah,
plenty. I'm not holding back.
Don't
Listen,
you
I
want a
wouldn't call it,
woman
like,
who
pride.
doesn't need you but who wants you? You want a woman to need you and not want you? That's a difference.
And women, we talked about that in
We
the
really
second
talking about
episode.
that, for real.
Yeah, women want you to appreciate that they want you rather than they need you.
I have a question though, because we were talking about like to me like toxic masculinity and like toxic like feminism. Like I feel like it's so ingrained that being masculine, like you said, is go-getter energy. But why can't we have like a woman be in her full feminine energy and still be a boss and not like be like masculine?
I absolutely agree.
To me that comes from
It's
like
a balance
patriarchy,
of both.
toxic
There's a lot
masculinity.
of women that know how to use their go-getter energy and still be in their feminine energy.
That's
But a lot of
the
people
thing.
think that like a woman can't be a president because she has to be her masculine energy, and then her feminine energy will actually get in the way of her being her full, like the full
Because
version
of
of
the
herself as a
feminine
president.
trait.
It
because
goes
of the
back to men taking advantage of that feminine
Word up.
energy.
But that's
I think
her
women
thing, right?
know. You know how we talk about that toxic femininity? I teach my clients how to use that to actually help them.
What's
not
toxic
toxic.
femininity?
Yeah, what is that?
So manipulation.
But honestly,
It goes more into manipulation, but I think a woman that knows how to use that to her benefit. Is no
sure.
you
longer
can manipulate men like this.
It's
Pretty-
the shadow
pretty
side.
privilege.
I don't like to
Absolutely.
call it toxic. I call it the shadow
sure.
side of feminine and the light side of feminine. and
I
the
just
shadow side of
have
masculine.
questions about this whole like binary system. Because
Because
in my no, it's true. Because in my opinion, like, because I believe in reincarnation.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, and I believe that we are like evolved souls, right? And like we come here and we have a journey, and then we kind of like gravitate around the lessons that we want to learn, and then we move on. And souls, by definition, I've never heard of a feminine or masculine soul. It's just a soul, right?
Yeah.
And then because we come to experience things differently, I believe that eventually you will transition from like being a woman to being a man to etc. And the essence of your soul continues to be the same. So by definition, a soul needs to have both. The feminine and the masculine energy, but it's ultimately just the essence of that soul. So it's the kindness, right? It's like the ability to love, the ability to care, the ability to see change and to actually push it through, the ability to be able to see adversity and to continue to put, and the way we go about it may be different, but the integral qualities to do that, to be a go-getter, to be vulnerable, to be loving, to be nurturing, all exists within both sides of
both
that
spectrums.
energy.
I completely agree. We're gonna go more into that actually in the next episode, which is bursting with spirituality. But for this episode, I really want us to go on the dynamics between what's going on in everything we're seeing on social media and a lot of the conversations we've been having behind the scenes when it comes to men and women. But you've actually ushered us. That's gonna be the next episode.
And the next episode.
I agree. You wanted to say something.
I have like a question.
Look at the traditional way.
Because at the end of the day, we are picking the vessel. Our vessel is our vehicle, right? And so how we portray and how the society sees us in our vehicle is a real thing, which is why we have to have this conversation.
That's a big bar.
I won't be there for that one.
No, you're not going to be there for that. So what did you want to say?
Earlier you talked about happiness in couples. What's the definition of happiness in couple?
I mean, what's the definition of happiness to you?
Word up.
Because the way she worded it, for me was just like they were never happy, or they were happy, or it was just a complicated situation. Like,
What's your definition of happiness?
Before you give your definition, I think it's not about, I think things got burdensome for them. So it piled on, and rather for looking at the little things that brought them happiness before, it turned into more now where our perception is on the burden. And so that divided them.
you guys have any example of happy couple? If I'm using just your words.
Okay, no, define happiness first, and then we'll go into the happy couple.
Because I don't believe in
That's
happiness
fine, but
like
just
that.
define it.
But
Like for me, I will use duty before happiness.
That's a traditional man right there.
Okay, so
Oh God, that's a traditional man right
okay, you
there.
can have duties, but
For real, bruh.
for you to be happy in a relationship, what would you need?
To see my daughter grow up and making sure she has everything that she needs to become a fully functional adult.
But now with your partner.
With my partner, it's actually as a couple what we're creating together for that little girl.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna just do wordplay. Okay, so I, as a woman, what I'm looking for is happiness, right? In a relationship, would you disagree or agree with the following statement?
Go ahead.
As a man, I am looking for peace in my relationship.
100%.
Okay, your definition of peace is my definition of happiness. We're just using different words.
Okay, which I
Okay.
agree with.
Okay, fine.
Sure. Okay, I thought you wanted to go. But then, I agree
But
with you.
duty can go into the because your duty.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it.
I don't wake up and I'm like, oh, I need to be. No, I wake up and I'm like, I get the stuff that I have to do. I don't ask questions. I wake up and I
And
go
that
do
stuff
it.
brings you happiness. Okay, so you're a
And in
disciplined
order for you to do the things that you need to do, in order for you to be a dutiful man to your household,
Yes.
what is the number one thing that you need from your partner?
I don't want her to nag.
You want peace.
100%.
I want happiness.
But what is
I will
happiness?
give you peace if you give me happiness. There is no negotiation on this one.
But she said your definition of peace is her definition of happiness.
Exactly. So you bring me peace, and I will bring you peace.
How do I make you happy?
Okay,
That's
the
a good
question.
question.
That's how you need to go into it.
Yes.
Just keep in mind that every time you make me happy, you will get peace.
That was a great question, Guy.
But here's the thing. Listen, for me, it's like I know, I definitely understand for sure. But when it, like, I am not traditional. That's why I say this man over here is a traditional man. Like, he will literally go before his duties, before his happiness.
And you will not?
And most, hell no. Hell no.
At least
Like,
what?
listen, like, he will go
Power to
before
you.
his duty, before his happiness, right? That's why he's saying,
He
like,
will go for his happiness.
instead of like staying with his daughter for more than 10 minutes, he's gonna be with his daughter for 5 minutes and go work. For the extra 10 minutes that
Period.
he could buy her.
Okay, but okay. And
Where
then what would
women
you
are
do?
more nurturers,
What would
so
you
like
do?
they have more like freedom when it comes to like just being in a household. Period.
What would you do?
What would I
As
do?
a non-traditional man, like
Yeah.
in that specific scenario, how would you act?
Equity in the house. That's it.
Huh?
Equity in the house.
Like, okay,
50,
such as,
50?
Yeah, or 100%, 100%.
such
Oh, yeah,
as, like, give an example.
So a lot of women still want a traditional man. For me, I want a boss. I don't even want a traditional woman. I want like a boss to pull up with me like same.
He wants to be a power couple.
No,
Like, so- but some people, you can't really do that if-
Okay, so you gave the example
That's
of a
like-
traditional man will spend, rather than spend 10 minutes with his daughter, will spend 5 minutes and then spend the other 5 minutes in order to provide for her. That's how a traditional man would act in that specific scenario.
For sure.
So if you include yourself, replace the traditional man, how would you do that
Shit.
differently?
Would you have spent the 10 minutes?
I would
Yeah,
wait.
like
I would
you.
honestly, I would wait for financial freedom. To be honest.
Have kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where
okay.
As
most-
a man, he can afford that, but
see.
your partner,
But that's
You
very
wouldn't have
would-
kids
that's
without that
that's
financial.
see that's very powerful what you said there, and you said it really quietly. So like
Yeah,
I would
that's
encourage you
okay.
to repeat it, like repeat it.
I don't know. Just like I don't know. Like usually, a man always has to work for like the woman and the daughter or son.
Yeah.
The kid.
Where like usually from the past, you have to use the past, look in the future. Usually, it's the woman nurturing in the house all the time.
And you
So
don't want it to be like that?
essentially, because what you said
No,
was
it's not
what you
like-
said,
no.
what you
Was that
said.
he wants financial freedom.
He wants financial freedom. Okay.
To be able to
So
spend
that,
time with my daughter.
my friend, is not even a woman-man perspective. That's like
Right.
from a human perspective. You're just like, I am tired of chasing the carrot. I want life. I want to put life back into my life. I'm not trying to split life between this, that, and the other.
Word.
Let's get the money back, and then I can actually live life the way I want to live life.
But I think that's where like
Okay,
that's where the
we're
feminine
going
energy
into
and
the
masculine
next-
energy goes into when you're
We're
not
going
financial,
into the
like,
next part of
free,
new
yeah.
era, so I want to get your last thoughts on femininity before we go into like really go into that, which is new. The next discussion is new era.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
and
men
2020.
should be vulnerable. This is-
Didn't you learn in the
Traditional
first
man.
episode when we said about vulnerability,
Traditional.
the power of vulnerability?
I am not
Yeah.
traditional.
Yeah,
So then there's
I-
power. Your vulnerable moment. He shared his vulnerable moment with us. Did that not make you more
You're
powerful?
gonna get, like,
Okay, let me rephrase. Let me rephrase what I say. I'd rather not being vulnerable in front of a woman. I'd rather be
Okay.
vulnerable in front of my brother,
Yeah,
in front of
that's-
my
he did say that.
cousin,
He did
in
say
front of those people where
Is it time to have relationship with these people and have babies with them?
it's not.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, it doesn't make sense to you. It's
You
because
want to spend your life with a woman and you don't want to be vulnerable with
I'll
a
be-
woman? That doesn't make any sense.
let me explain you why. Let me explain. And I'm not saying I fully grabbed that idea, but I'm trying to explain what I usually do without knowing what I do stuff,
Okay.
and I'm trying to put it in words.
Or you're
For
a
instance,
therapist.
trying to
Okay.
be better.
Huh?
Still.
Go on.
I did twice for 3 or 4 years, so I know what I'm talking about.
He had a therapist for 3. He taught, yeah.
I said
Anyway.
we are your therapist.
Oh!
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was-
What I mean by that is, what's the difference between, and okay, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it. There's level.
Can I say where I think you're going?
Yeah.
Is that he doesn't understand how women. He doesn't know how the woman's gonna react when he's vulnerable.
Okay,
Some
but-
women can't handle men being. That's actually one of the questions that from the audience
Okay,
about women.
so like, and again, we're gonna play definition trivia because it's really interesting to understand what you define to me an example.
what I was
What
about.
is vulnerability to you?
That's what I'm saying. There's multiple layers. Like, there's 2 ways. Like, I left my job today, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Crying.
Shut the fuck up. Go get another job.
But is that how you feel in the moment?
Hell nah.
About the crying part?
No, no,
No,
no.
about the emotion.
uh,
when you
like-
lost
About
your
losing
job.
your job.
About
Is that
losing
how
your
you
job.
feel? You
Is
want
that
to
how
cry?
you feel?
I don't think so. Because I don't get, I don't
But I
get-
mean,
We talked about this already,
Do you
bro.
not
We
allow
talked about this
yourself to
already.
feel
But
that,
that's-
or you don't think you're
Exactly,
actually feeling
because
that?
if in the moment,
I don't think I will allow myself.
that's
feel
a
that.
different. That's a
But
different
you are
thing.
feeling it.
That's
Your emotions
Exactly.
are valid.
But however,
so this is
however,
what I'm going to tell you. This is what, as a
however,
woman,
however,
hold on, pause. As a woman, as
Yeah.
a grown woman, this is what I'm going to tell you as a grown man that you are. Your emotion at any point are absolutely valid.
I agree 100%.
I'm not finished. I'm not
100%.
finished.
I never said it.
I'm not finished.
I never disagree with
For
you on that
any
point.
moment
Yeah.
in your life, from
Yeah.
the moment you were born until right at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
at any point where anybody made you feel like your emotion were not valid, that you should feel shame because of what you're feeling, I want you to know that they were wrong. And I want to liberate you and allow you to feel these emotions and to feel valid in your emotions and to let them go so that you can move forward.
Yes.
I'm giving you the permission.
Yeah, go ahead. Say your piece.
Now, also, I can get back to you and be like, yeah, 2 days ago I lost my job. I, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Called my brother. We met. We sat. We talked.
Which is a big tendency men have.
And we found a way. We found a solution, blah, blah, blah. I came up like, yeah, that was 2 days ago. I was a little bit shaken up. I lost my job, but this is a plan. This is what I'm going. This is what I'm going to do to change it.
So then we're not in a relationship?
We in what?
I'm your life partner.
I'm
Why
not,
do you have to
we're
reach
not,
out to
at that
someone?
point, we're not a relationship because if I'm not involved in the decision making, I'm your employee and you're telling me what you're doing.
But not in
And
every.
if we're gonna have you
So it's every
I'm not
single.
finished. I'm not finished.
Every single.
I'm not
Go
finished.
ahead.
So if we're gonna be in the dynamic where you make the decision and you tell me this, then you're eventually gonna run into an issue where every corporation, where the employee doesn't feel valued, so they step out. So go work for a corporation where they feel valued, a part of, and they feel like whatever they have to say actually matters to the corporation and is incorporated in the decision making of the process. And that is how you build strong corporations, by valuing your employees and making sure that they feel a part of.
So I want to reiterate what Trish just said, and then we'll go to you. And then we'll go to you, and then we'll go to you, and then we'll go to you.
Yeah. For
Asante, sorry. So because this is basically, because today we're looking at the woman's perspective, right? So the men have a tendency to be like, okay, I can handle this. I'm gonna go share my emotions with, my brother and my family. Find a plan, come back, show her that I'm strong. Whereas the woman is saying, I want to be a part of that decision making. I am your life partner. I want to be the one that you can come to and talk to these things about, because we're planning our future together, right? This is our future. So I like that.
But I'm not sure every woman are like you. That's also the
not
other
every
part.
woman
For
is.
you to
No,
choose
that's
good
true.
woman.
I agree
Choose
with
a
you.
good
So
woman.
do you to choose the right man.
Yeah.
It go both ways.
Okay.
So do you to choose the
Let's
right
go.
man.
We'll go here first, and then we'll go. Listen.
Like, you are very different.
Thank you.
Most men grow up with a mom that grew up in patriarchy, right? So that means she's also gonna have or teach me the tendencies of toxic masculinity.
Like,
I don't believe in toxic
Yeah, I
masculinity.
don't like
Which
this
is
word.
literally-
I don't believe in that. You shouldn't use those words.
I'm just saying.
It's masculinity. It's toxic only when
It
those
becomes harmful.
you want a toxic masculine guy when your house is burning down.
I know.
So-
I know. Let me finish.
But let him
cut.
finish.
Listen, so it's like
Cook.
exactly. I don't know. It's like for a long time, my father's father, his father's father, their mothers taught them not to cry because if you cry, you are feminine
Yeah.
or weak.
or weak. So this is like what he's saying. Like you're literally like begging him to like unlearn something that is literally like a generational curse,
Exactly.
and not just of like the black community.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're kind of
But
asking for
if she
something
can
that's
unlock
like
it-
so.
But
like,
I'm just-
But
rare,
if she
like-
can unlock
so
it,
that's what I'm
it's
saying. Like,
like,
you're really
I'm-
a
It's-
magical thing.
And even if
But
you
the
say it,
trust
like,
that
honestly,
you get
even
to
if you
that
say, I
level.
don't believe it, I'm not.
Exactly. So
No,
it's
but
a trust.
like, you know why? Like
But how
the
do you
reason
build
why
that?
the reason why I feel this way is because I'm really close to my little cousin and my nephews, and I have brothers. I do not want to see them robbed or 50% of their humanity. I don't want that. I want them to flourish. I want them to be in their powers. I want them to see how beautiful and handsome they are. I want them to feel intelligent and vulnerable. I want them to have emotional intelligence, to be able to say what they need, to have the boundaries and uphold them, and to go and chase their dreams. I want them to view themselves the way I see them, the magnificent being that they are. And they can't do that running on 50% of their tank.
Yes.
And I will not tolerate that for the men that I have in my life. So I'm not tolerating that for the men that I encounter.
But it's crazy. You asked for a traditional man.
No, we didn't.
But not, like what she said. Like,
Yeah, she said she'll be that feminine wife.
a traditional man.
But we're emotional.
But that
Nobody
doesn't-
say we're not emotional.
emotional, but
We're
not-
emotional, but I would not emotional
The
in front of.
traditional men that God has given me
Who is emotional.
are emotional
Yes.
in nature.
When, yes,
Yeah,
they
we are, but like I said, I'm not gonna be
They're the ones who
emotional or
taught
cry
me
in front of
this
you.
reality.
I don't
But
have-
she's right. If you go, like, there's a lot of books. This is just all, you have to look at books that are pre-colonization. When it talks about the dynamic of the traditional African family, they're emotional and they're in their masculine energy. They know how to be, they know the strength of vulnerability. And they know, like, that you have to be going in the same direction, uplifting with your partner, empowering each
Most
other.
honestly, most African traditions are literally like what I said. That's like
I was raised,
toxic. Like for
I
real.
was
No,
raised
no,
by-
you have to look at pre.
yeah.
I'll send you a list of books. I have like
Conversation, like,
I have like 50 books. I'll send you a list.
You wanted to say something earlier?
yeah.
I think the example you gave shows the importance of allowing people to be masculine and feminine. Because if you did believe in your woman ability to be in her masculine energy, you losing your job you wouldn't be scared to share that with her, because you know that she's also a go-getter. If I lose my job, I can also count on my woman to help me either find a new job or be like, okay, well, while I'm looking for a new job, I know my woman can provide. So we're partners. If you're not allowing yourself to be in your feminine energy because you do not allow your partner to be in her
Yeah.
masculine energy.
But I want to say something on that, and I think a lot of men in today's age, I've met a few men that encountered women that when they did lose their job or when they were transitioning jobs, their women left them.
Yeah,
Come
they're
on.
like,
So
you can't
that
provide
put a
for me.
barrier. I'm
Like,
not saying it's every woman.
There's a
I'm just
countdown.
saying
There's a
there are
countdown
women
as
that-
soon as.
And men tell other men that
Yes.
this happens to them, so there's a barrier.
But
That's like,
it's-
oh, she might leave me if I'm
And-
unable to provide, or if I don't have a car,
And the
or if I
thing
don't
is,
have this.
the way you pick them is the way you'll lose
I
them.
Mm-hmm.
If you, the first thing that you say to me is how big your bank account is, how nice your car is, and that is how you
Yes,
got me.
I
So the
completely
moment
agree.
you lose that, that is the reason I was here. So the benefits are no longer here. I'm leaving. If you are strong enough to actually
Cha-ching.
give me your personality and sell me on who
Yes.
you are, your essence isn't going to change.
100% agree.
But you're not even gonna see him from the get-go if he doesn't have that.
Why are you so angry?
I'm not-
Sante, can I ask you that?
Because like literally, like men know that a woman will not go on a second date if the man don't pay.
Wait. Sante, is that true? Because I know when I was in uni and I first like I was like thrown in with all these young women, they were more prone to understand a man for their personality. But
No.
Tama. Wait. Stop. Wait a minute. Wait.
Remember, you're here to listen to the woman's perspective.
I've definitely
Yeah.
I love you. I love you. I want. Can you repeat that again? Because I have a couple.
younger, like I'm saying when I first got into university, right? So if you're younger, so Sante is younger, the women you're encountering, are they really rejecting you for that stuff or not having all?
There's literally a whole viral sensation about going to a whole nother, literally going overseas, bro. This is not like just a me problem. Like this is literally like a North America shit. Like,
But you gotta understand. You gotta understand that go-getter guy.
So I have a question.
That-
so
that-
I'm okay. So we're gonna play another fun exercise.
look, this nigga is pissed, bro. It's like like we're listening, but we know like.
Okay,
we just know
but wait.
how, like,
Tell
it's
me,
gonna work,
tell me,
bro.
tell me. Like I'm on a date with you, and you're trying to like get me to be your wife.
Okay.
Okay? You got 35 seconds because that's how quickly I'll know whether or not I'll marry you or not.
Bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, it's like, hold on. Women want us to live up to these expectations.
But wait,
But like,
why are you getting?
what the fuck?
Don't get
That
upset
shit is
yet.
like-
Don't get
Oh, I have an
upset.
answer. I have
Don't
an
get
answer
upset
for that.
yet. Don't get upset yet.
Bro,
Tell
like-
me, what is the best thing about yourself that makes you unique?
Or say a sentence that would make her.
What's the thing that you
Just
love
be
the most about
What
you?
What would you say in 35 seconds of meeting a girl?
Wow. Hold on.
Okay.
You gotta let me cook
Look
my
at
Yeah.
her. Look at her and be on the date.
Yeah.
It's a little different when like you're in the moment and your feelings like.
Let's go talk.
He
What
was
the hell wrong with
so
you?
angry. Now
Yeah,
he's
man, let's go talk.
It's giving crickets.
You're an artist. You're creative. You're.
Listen, I'm not an actor though. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. And that's the thing.
Yeah, we don't want you to be an actor.
Okay, go for it.
Listen, I'm gonna say I don't want you to have expectations of me. I just want you to see me as a human being and someone who could hopefully give you peace, not problem.
And she's gonna say no to you.
That's 35 seconds.
But hold on a second.
But that's you claiming.
That, like, I want you to tell me, what is the thing that you love
Character
the
traits.
most about yourself?
Okay, I feel like I'm a people-oriented person. I don't know. I believe that I'm learning to be vulnerable, type shit. I'm learning to get rid of this like toxic masculinity. I don't even
No,
know,
the
like,
thing you love the most about yourself.
I don't know.
Slap that
I'm-
book
Okay.
over
I'm
your
learning,
head.
I'm learning where I know some men aren't.
And that is the reason why you guys are struggling to be able to connect with people. And that is the reason why I go back. I don't want anybody to rob you of 50% of your ability to get to know yourself. Because if you're having a hard time stating what is the thing that you love the most about yourself, how am I supposed to fall in love with you?
But like this song.
He's also 23.
But if you're
He's
so
also
good,
23.
but hold
No,
on.
it's not even
But
that,
if you're
like-
so good at telling me of all the things that you're about, of all the things that you have, well, those are the things I'm gonna fall for. And the second they disappear, then I don't know you like that, because you can't tell me who you are because you don't know who you
I
are.
feel like I'm gonna say I'm a grown person. That's it.
Okay, Guy, last thoughts, and then I'm gonna show you guys another video.
You love me. Like there's so many things.
I want to see your notes, man.
That's true.
Okay, we're gonna go because I think it's just gonna connect. So we're gonna go into the next part. Okay, guys?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Last video, and then we'll see if we can get into the third discussion.
Therapist will pick on him. Now, if a man does agree to go to couples therapy, 9 times out of 10, he usually asks for a meal. So a super common thing that I see as a couples therapist is that women in heterosexual relationships will have a hard time bringing their partner to couples therapy because he is worried that the therapist will pick on him. Now, if a man does agree to go to couples therapy, 9 times out of 10, he usually asks for a male therapist because there's this assumption that the male therapist will get him and be less inclined to pick on him. Here are my thoughts. Let's talk about the state of heterosexual relationships now. Historically, people married for much more functional reasons than they do now. In Western society, it was usually that the men would go to work and then the women would stay at home. Now in Canada, 70% of us are in dual income situations. What's more is that there was a study done by Wells Fargo in 2021 that showed that millennial and Gen X women are actually making more than their partners in heterosexual relationships. This is significant when you also consider that women make 89 cents for every dollar that a man makes in Canada still. So all that to say, a lot of women come into relationships in Canada being like, okay, I work hard for my money and I make good money. In fact, I might make more than my partner. So I don't need a breadwinner anymore. What a woman is now looking for is companionship, emotional intelligence, good sex, and love from her partner. Now we have a bit of a situation because this whole time men have been like, well, I just need to provide, and now they're being.
Let me
So
record.
a super common thing that I see as a couples therapist is that women in heterosexual relationships will have a hard time bringing their partner to couples therapy because he's worried that the therapist will pick on him. Now, if a man does agree to go to couples therapy, 9 times out of 10, he usually asks for a male therapist because there's this assumption that the male therapist will get him and be less inclined to pick on him. Here are my thoughts. Let's talk about the state of heterosexual relationships now. Historically, people married for much more functional reasons than they do now. In Western society, it was usually that the men would go to work and then the women would stay at home. Now in Canada, 70% of us are in dual income situations. What's more is that there was a study done by Wells Fargo in 2021 that showed that millennial and Gen X women are actually making more than their partners in heterosexual relationships. This is significant when you also consider that women make 89 cents for every dollar that a man makes in Canada still. So all that to say, a lot of women come into relationships in Canada being like, okay, I work hard for my money and I make good money. In fact, I might make more than my partner. So I don't need a breadwinner anymore. What a woman is now looking for is companionship, emotional intelligence, good sex, and love from her partner. Now we have a bit of...
What do you guys think of, so women, since this is women's perspective, I saw you guys really cheering for that video. What are your thoughts?
Like, honest? Okay, go.
No, go
No,
ahead.
no,
No,
go. I
What
keep
do you say? Do
talking.
you want to start?
Yeah.
Sorry. me, it was just the 43-year-old. I was like,
That's a
what?
long time to
I was
wait.
like, do I have to
Yeah,
wait that
yeah,
long for it?
yeah.
I was like, that's
Or
that's
just
too
pick
long.
an older man. That's another way of saying it.
But not all women are just going to pick an older man
I agree
because
with
of
you.
that. I feel like you both need to grow at the same time, and it's like the man is also going to learn a lot when he's in a relationship.
Not finished. She's not finished. She's gonna
That's
say.
what I read the hand
She's
number.
gonna say and paragraphs. Don't worry about it.
Like there's a lot of things that a man won't learn when he's alone, and that he'll learn when he's in a relationship. So I think that the 43, maybe 43 is only for a single man, but it's gonna be, his intelligence is gonna, he's gonna get more intelligent like early on in his life
Wiser.
with
Say
a
wiser.
woman in his life that'll teach him the things that he needs.
And that,
If she
okay.
stays.
Yeah, Cindy.
Go see me.
But
If she stays.
you saying like a man needs to be in a relationship to learn like his emotional intelligence? That's emotional labor for me. So I'm
you-
here and now
When I be saying that.
I'm supposed to live my life, chase my goal, teach you how to be emotional while I'm still learning because I'm not perfect.
No, you
Yeah,
guys are
we're all
learning
learning.
together. Yeah, I don't think it's that you're teaching him. It's that you.
No,
guys
But
are
no,
learning.
no,
the
no, no, no,
video
no.
said-
Like as if the
Yeah.
video says
Yeah,
that
the
when we
video
go
said that-
in, we're at
yeah.
different levels.
Exactly.
It means
So I
that
know better
I
than
did
you.
a lot of learning and he didn't.
Exactly.
Okay, like.
But it's so weird, like from back in the day, it was like literally like.
So I know better than you. It's just in that
Emotional
area.
growth, yeah.
So I have to teach you, and then I have to raise my kids, and then I have to go work, and then I have to be able to be like an individual and be
It's
happy.
okay.
Okay, so what would
We're not
your
there yet.
solution be for that?
What would be what?
What would your solution be for that?
First, men do have to accept to go to therapy, and so I can transfer that labor to the therapist who's getting paid for that. Because I mean, I'm not getting paid for teaching you how to be emotional. That's one thing.
She's basically saying hire me.
Oh, you don't want to hire her because she's not.
Honestly,
I'm not what?
honestly,
I know who you follow.
we're gonna edit this guy.
I know who I follow. Those are the people you love, so.
I know. And you know I had a session with Paradis.
Okay,
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
perfect, perfect.
But I think just the video said a lot of things that I agree about because me, when I look at my friends overall, we're more like women are more educated than men now. Like I go to school and half the 70% of the class
Yeah, me and Trish had a
are
conversation.
women. So we are more educated than men. We are able to get jobs that most of the time we do get paid more than you. So for you to be like, I want to be a traditional man, like,
But to
I don't
be
need
fair,
your money that
but,
much. I
like-
have my own money.
And that's the thing. And the thing is, like, in all fairness, and I've said this many times because my father, traditional African man, like, he raised his daughters to be alpha daughters. But he raised my brother to be the version that he was. Right? So when he pushed us and created these like super women, and there's a lot of him out there who literally created a whole generation of us to be like boss ass women. And then at the same time, they went around and they raised their sons to be the old version of themselves. So when we got the upgrade, they're still running on fucking Windows 98. So, sorry for cursing. And that's where the inequity comes from, right? It's like, okay, but now it's like, okay,
But would,
now we're 30 or whatever the age that we are, and it's like you have to be fair, okay? You have to be fair with the fact that the person that's with you may not be at the same level as you are, and that's okay, but there needs to be that acknowledgement from both sides.
yeah.
And I can't sit here and be like, oh my God, like I'm all emotionally involved, like that's your problem. Nah, it's an us problem. We're together in this. What are we going to do about it?
But Trish, because you said that he raised his sons to be like him, right?
Right.
But do you not think your dad would thrive in this era?
What?
Would you not think your dad would be a 2.0 in this era? Do you think is it really outdated, or would he be what he raised them to be?
It's very, very interesting. And it's so funny because my grandfather did the exact same thing where it's like very lenient on the way. It's like we didn't put much thought into it. Because you have to think about the fact that when we had the feminine movement and we had like the voting movement and we had the civil rights movement, a lot of these things were very focused on upgrading women, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do we make sure that with all the inequities of the past, we're like pushing women? So you have all these thoughts and all these change that we're asking for the sake of women. But none of that was available for men.
For men.
Oh, it's still not available.
So it's like, so
Yeah, it's
we're,
still not available.
so you're putting, so you had all this energy and this information and this infrastructure to push your women forward, so your daughters, but you had nothing.
Okay, so when you're saying that he raised his sons to be the same version of him, it was with that same
Exactly,
mentality.
right?
Okay. Okay.
It's like, so you don't have tools to how to make boys emotionally intelligent. How do you tap into their like, you don't have that, and you literally have to go and create that for themselves. Because in that conversation, we kind of like, what we wanted to do was to make women equal to men, but we went so hard that we pushed it. And now we're just like, okay, so what are we doing with the old goalposts? Well, you need to push that forward too.
But shouldn't like the mother be helping with that emotional side? Like, it shouldn't just be the father that's like raising the son. It should also be like the mother showing her like.
But it's true for both, because it's like it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like there's so many times where it happens in society, right? Where it's like you have all of this information, black hair. It's a perfect example. You have all this freaking information to cater to like the 1A to 4, like the wavy to the straight hair. And then there's all these people that don't have straight hair, they have curly hair. And you're scrambling to try to figure out, how do I take care of this? Like, what do I do with it? And it's like, do I do this? And you have to do it on your own, where all the library of information is available. That's exactly what happened with men and women. All the library of information to upgrade a young woman was widely available by the world. The library of information to upgrade boys is up to their parents. And that's not fair. That's what I'm trying to say.
So what?
They've been quieted down.
Well, and I understand her point 100%. When you take example of the school, even the school nowadays, the school is more catered to women, the way they teach. That's why they call the generation of lost boys, because they don't know, they don't know where to go. Most of them actually give up on school or whatever. Nowadays, the intended for university is like 60% women, 40% men. But however, men still goes to the stamps and stuff like that, to the thing that where you women, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean it that way, but
you people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not better.
It's not better.
Usually I say you people, but then
Oh, you guys thought that was me? That's cute.
that's what I'm like. I want you women to be like nice women. Like, yeah, that one that didn't sound proper anyway. So yes, we lost. When you see, like, when I see men nowadays, I'm actually disappointed. Men like Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels are directly the result of all those years where men were just pushed to the side. Nowadays, for like everything that's there for women to help them, like women's shelters, blah, 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 all those things, cancer. Like, we have the prostate issues too that kills a lot of men too, but we don't even bring the tenth of what cancer, like women breast cancer brings. The gap is so wide nowadays that the only option that some men have is just to become the best version of themselves. So by trying to become the best version of themselves, the stuff that you're gonna lack, the stuff that you're not gonna think about it, like being vulnerable, being emotional, because out there, the streets are cold.
So I just want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So does it hurt?
To be,
Like everything that you said, does it hurt?
I don't see it that way. I just see it like,
No,
oh,
but
that's
like-
life. Like, let's go. Everybody just go.
No, but honestly,
It hurts, but it's like.
but like, does it hurt?
Men hurt inside. We
No,
hurt in
I'm
silence.
asking you.
Clear
I don't-
question.
The
I
answer
can.
is
I
yes.
cannot. I cannot.
Yes, Trey.
I cannot answer that question. I don't.
but no, it's not that. It's because you sit here and you say things like, we die of prostate cancer and nobody talks about it.
For real.
Like, you literally sat there and you said, a woman will get breast cancer and everybody will go. And like, there's all these campaigns and stuff. We are dying of prostate cancer and literally nobody cares.
People don't even
That
think
is
breast
exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And
For real.
I, as a woman, I can't imagine, I am dying of breast cancer and nobody's gonna bat an eye. That shit makes me angry. That shit makes me like not important. That it hurts. It's like, dude, do you not see me in pain? Do I not matter to you?
But men, they don't matter.
We talked about that the last
Men
episode.
don't matter.
Our feelings don't matter when it comes to.
That's why in wars, 25% since the beginning of the 8 billion people, 25% of men were able to procreate, compared to 99% of women. We just go to war and we die. Nobody gives a jack ass
Actually,
about
most
us.
of the people actually in the world are actually men that actually commit suicide.
That's what I was gonna say. The suicide rate is actually higher for men than
So
women.
then-
We talked about
Actually,
that
no,
in
it's not higher. Women try as much as men,
They're more
but
successful.
Success.
we're more successful. Yeah.
You gotta give it to men. We are successful.
We're doing stuff like, because you know, you don't want to
guys.
miss.
Mental health is important. We
I
shouldn't
know,
be making
but
jokes.
exactly, you don't just want to miss it, because if you miss, you might just lose an
No, but-
arm or whatever. Like, you just want to make sure, like, if I do it right and it
But,
works.
okay, so quick question.
Yeah.
In the patriarchy system that we currently live in, men are in power.
No. A tiny, tiny, tiny group of men are in power.
Perfect. So men, a tiny group of men, a tiny group of people made out of men
Yeah.
are in power.
Yeah.
And every single one of you guys are suffering from these these structures and constructs. So why don't you do something about it to change it? The power literally is in your hand.
Change the structure, change the
Yes,
entire
yes.
thing.
That's why I'm here.
It would take so much time. And this, this is my opinion.
Is that excuses?
No. No. Listen. There's 2 ways of trying to change. Bursting, no pun intended, and like break the door and whatever.
Right.
Or, like, I prefer, be subtle about it. Okay, you don't want me, I don't want to bother. I'm just going to go for that door. And from there, I'm just going to open the door and let as many people as possible to come in. So we're going to do it from the inside.
Okay, so
Because there's still a structure that makes things work. You don't want to damage the entire structure. You still want to keep but by
you want to
coming,
work within the system.
work within it all the way to.
In the same way that we're working through racism and
This
sexism.
whole,
But we're still
this
going to
whole
have
system was
racism.
not made for people to be, for a lot of people to succeed. So I don't want to work within the system. I want to destroy the system.
I don't want to.
have to.
Actually, I
You
want to
have-
look
you
at the
have to work-
system and let it burn, and just sip a coffee when it burns.
Literally, like, to destroy a system is through with it. Like, literally.
Like you want to bomb it? You want to grenade
No,
it? You
like-
want to
No,
paint the
from
wall?
inside.
From, like, the mind.
Oh,
like-
the mind. Okay, you want to change the minds. I'm
You
sorry, I
have
didn't get that.
infiltrated school. Like, you girls, you women did it from the inside. You didn't. You were like subtle. Okay.
No, like honestly,
You did not.
like I'm not like I was gonna say honey, but that's like really like
We're not there
It's
yet.
the sarcasm.
no, like honestly, we were just better at playing the game than you guys were.
But
all
that's
it
what we say.
was.
You women are
Like,
extremely.
you guys created a system to work it against us, and we flipped it over, and we're taking
no,
advantage
some
of
On
it.
the
men-
last episode as well, how women, in order to survive, had to go into their masculine energy, and so now you're complaining about women that use.
We're just
yours
better
is
at
their
it.
masculine
Oh no,
energy to
you women have
get
this
what they
talent
wanted.
of sizing people and work. Like, you walk in a room, you're like, oh, those two sleeping
You know what
together.
it's
Oh,
called? You know,
yeah,
you know what it's called?
Human intuition.
No, it's called emotional
Intelligence.
intelligence.
I don't believe in emotional intelligence.
That's
EQ.
fine. You don't have
No,
That's
it's
the
one
thing.
of the 12 major areas of life.
I understand, but for me,
But you know what? We continue to not believe in it,
Okay.
and we will continue to tap into it in order to continue to
yeah,
get
you
what
need
we need.
emotional
and it's
intelligence.
okay. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm looking at the system. I'm looking at the entire system. My job is not to change the system.
But
My
you know
job is to
what?
work
You
within
know
the
what?
system.
You know what? At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, but there's one thing that I know, and there's one thing that's very clear.
Go ahead.
Humans are emotional beings. And that is the
100%.
reason why sex sells. And that is the
100%.
reason why we like to put things into categories. And that's the reason why we like to do things like making you have instant gratification. It's because we know that when you feel good, you change things. And that, my friend, in order for me to be able to manipulate the heck out of you, I need to be highly emotionally intelligent. And I will continue to build my emotional intelligence in order to make the change that I want to see in the world.
You should.
When you say that you're ignoring people's feeling in order to focus on the structure, you're missing the bigger portion of the pie. Just keep that in mind.
That's actually a good transition into fluctuation. So we'll do the third discussion, right, which is fluctuations of emotions, right? So there are basically statistics saying that women are not taking into account the statistics that full-time men are working longer hours than full-time women, which is where the pay gap comes from. So I wanted to go into it with fluctuation of emotions because they say that women are emotional, right? But I want us to go into the positive of those emotions as we've been talking about right now and how it actually benefits women and the system. Yes.
So you're saying that men get paid more because they work more hours.
I disagree.
But technically, it's not really that. Only that because men could have
women are missing more work than
we can
men.
have the exact same credential than men and still get less money because we're making paid like something. Companies tell you don't tell people how much you're getting paid. So a lot
that's more in higher positions though.
And
like
also
mid-level.
We're talking about, so I'm saying in like the average level of people that are making $35,000 to $50,000 a year, the pay gap comes from that men doing more hours, full-time hours than women.
Did you
Well, I
took
mean,
full-time?
Yeah,
But they didn't
it's
count
a
your mat leave. They didn't count the.
Like when you're actually looking dollar for dollar, the actual salary per hour, on average, men for the exact same position, the exact same qualification, will get paid more and will be offered more money on the table simply because they're men, and that is because of unconscious bias where we think.
So are you talking about? I'm talking about like customer service.
I'm talking about customer service. I'm talking about general jobs.
There's no way we can get paid less than you. There's laws. We cannot.
But we're getting paid less than you, and there's still laws. And that's okay.
Oh, what type of job you talking about? The job that we have to negotiate your salary?
All
we
of
have
them.
to take all jobs into account.
All of them,
like,
all jobs into account, because at the end of the day,
okay.
at the end of the day, even if you go to work at McDonald's, there's like a salary range. Everybody doesn't start at 705.
There's still a 705?
Like
No,
that's
now
what
it's- now it's
that's what I'm saying. Like everybody doesn't start at the same place, and the unconscious bias in society, where we say things like man is a provider, so he needs to make more money because he needs to take care of his children, is no longer valid when we
I don't
make.
think that's the reason, though.
Go read about it.
I did.
Go read about it.
So I agree.
Unconscious bias in HR policies. Like there's a whole like segment. There's literally a whole book about it. There's like videos, books, like conferences. They're actively looking to change that because they go in
It goes with
and
the
they're
end
like
group
because
preferences, too.
like they will say things like this. Like a man will go into an interview and set negotiation of salary word for word, like same candidate, same position. The man will say, I just had a baby. It will trigger in my mind, shit, that's expensive. He should get more money. The woman will say, I just had a baby. Oh, that's expensive. It's going to cost me a lot of money. So you know what? Let me pay her less. Because and it has nothing to do with us as human beings. It has to do with society and all the images that are bombarded all the time.
Oh, it's not because the man gonna work more.
No.
How about this?
It's
What about
not
construction
like
and,
I had a baby, and the first thing that I did, I got my girl, and the first thing is like, oh shit, I have to go make more money. It wasn't about is life gonna be because I know as a man to have those babies, I'm gonna just triple work harder, whatever, just to
I
make.
think all the points here are valid. So because I was looking at the average job, right? But when you do take into account all of the jobs that pay
And the
out
type of
salary,
jobs.
but it does come. So part of it is the difference of full-time men, full-time women, but also what you said about unconscious biases. So I think we have to address all those points. But I want you guys to address it in a way that ends with fluctuation of emotions. Okay? Let's go.
I have a question. I just asked one of my lady friends this. She had a very weird answer. So I'm gonna ask you guys this too. Like,
Okay.
the world's changing. Do you guys think women could be like the president? Do you think a woman could be?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
No.
do you why do you think like there aren't?
Because politics
There are
is very
presidents or prime
ruthless.
ministers, like in New
It's
Zealand and
almost like,
etc.
to me, it's like
And they do
they're-
better.
North
they're too
Korea, South
vulnerable,
Korea.
They're too what?
Like they're too vulnerable.
He's bringing it.
So hold on a second.
That's
So you
emotional
mean
intelligence, like-
wait. So you mean to tell me that the president at the time that we've had, who created a Cold War based on the fact that the wife of another president did not agree to his advances, so they went on and had a full-on Cold War for 10 years, and then the only way that they were able to actually like pack out is because they gave him a way to not lose face. You're talking about those non-emotional creatures?
To be honest,
And,
it's
that, and
like-
she's saying
Most wars
modern example, but
Yeah,
throughout
there's a bunch
history,
of
men went to war on emotional.
For no reason. For
Yeah,
no
that's
reason.
why we have so many men in jail right now
It's
because
like
of
it's
emotion.
like they will start. They like. Do you realize
That's why we
that
cannot be emotional.
he went to the Middle East?
Beautifully.
He went to the Middle East for no reason, and then he was too prideful to admit that he made a mistake, so he stayed there for 20 years for no reason.
But women are true men.
But we're too emotional.
Okay.
It's not even just like too emotional. It's just like you say like women have more like emotional intelligence so they can read the room. But then like most men are literally in like the council like.
Yeah, but most men are trying to manipulate the room, so they're not really.
But you literally say women are like our head
It's
of the game right now,
politics.
but there's
Yeah.
literally
It's
no one
ruthless.
like-
It's a ruthless world, politics.
Like literally last year, like they're literally gonna make a decision based off like your lives and what your choices are about abortion, and you say like emotional intelligence is the way to go. Clearly, it's not because like there's literally a law that was almost passed last year against you guys. So like it's kind of weird. Like
I don't get it. So you're blaming.
work is better than being emotional. That's for sure.
Work-
It has always worked since. Like,
So
since
work
time.
is better than being emotional.
And
Like I'm just not like I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah,
I'm just not
probably.
trying to understand what you're saying.
it is because like they say like a woman can't be a president because in times of like war she'll be too emotional and she'll act on her emotions.
But there's
Or, like a man will act on like
But
strict will,
okay, so like
power
okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say here.
type shit.
So there, like with the example that you're giving, so a woman cannot be a president because in times of war she will act on your emotion. That is a supposition. That's never happened. So for the man part of things, we do have a lot of examples throughout history that tell us that, well, I mean, they're as emotional as it gets. Like, they can't seem to compromise for some reason. They play like, it's giving small dick energy. A lot of the time.
Wearing
So,
black.
like, so when it comes to women, don't fight us, we're black. Let's give them the chance to prove, because men have been failing consistently, and they continue to use the excuse that, oh, we're only failing because women would have failed harder. Give us the chance to fail.
Do you think women thrive off of their feminine energy?
If they thrive,
Yes.
yes,
What-
absolutely.
Most women believe that to thrive off of their feminine energy, that the man has to do everything.
What do you mean?
No.
Or the woman literally has to
Wait,
be like
just
the
being-
behind, like
So I
to
just
be like
want-
the passenger princess.
So I just want to know,
Like shit.
do you believe that a woman that's a standalone woman, so no men,
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
no men around,
Okay.
I'm in Long Island by myself,
Okay.
okay? No men around.
Okay.
Can I still be in my feminine energy?
Of course.
Okay,
So there's
so then if that's the case,
Okay.
then if I can exist in my feminine energy and there's no men around, why do you feel like you always compare a woman in a feminine energy with what the man is doing?
Because like. the
Like they're
gov-
not codependent. They're like standalone.
I'm talking about with society, like literally, like the government, like whether we like it or not, like literally, like within society, like the government literally controls everything we do, whether we like it or not.
Yes.
But that has nothing
Okay.
to do with the feminine energy.
It really does, though. It really does. Like, it's because like
I think it has to do with unawareness.
if you want to talk about science and how like women like literally like thrive off feminism, you literally said how like women like when they're in their masculine energy, they're go-getters. Well, like, oh, they're not gonna accept like a masculine woman to be the president. Like, this
Well,
is
I
not
mean, that's the
going
thing.
to.
So, see,
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
she
like,
said
That's why we
that.
talked about destroying the system.
Exactly. She said that, but I disagree because I can be in my go-getter energy and be uber feminine. I do it every day. I do it every day at work where I tell people that I pretend like it was their ideas, and they're like, oh my God,
That's what I said.
that's a really good idea. And they're like, I love how you brought that in. I love the way you ask the questions. You never make me feel, I never make you feel like you're so small. It's okay, sweetie. I don't care. I don't care how you feel. I want the project to move forward. Right? But I'm still a go-getter. I still deliver. I still meet my goals. I still expand the budget. I still grow market share. But I don't feel the need to be a man to do it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why do like women like that passenger princess type shit?
Because it feels good. I don't like to drive all the time. Don't you like to drive all the time?
I mean,
Like, I'm confused.
I do.
actually,
But I have a question
I
for
like
you,
to be
Groove.
driven. Like, it's cool.
like to be driven, but not to be the driver.
Like, I can drive.
You like to be driven.
I
not the
can't.
driver.
I like a lot
does
of
not sound like
a
the
lot
president mindset.
a lot. The president doesn't drive.
It doesn't sound like
A president does not drive.
It literally sounds like Kamala Harris, bro. She
Yeah,
literally
but-
driven by, like,
Delegation.
The president does not drive. Barack Obama had to go back and get his driver's license
A team.
because since the moment he became president and he stepped down, he hasn't driven. A president do presidential shit. I don't need to drive.
And just to say,
Yeah.
you said like the government decide everything. Right now, in most of the Western world society, all of the institutions are very unequal, very driven by inequality, and there's no compassion. We don't think about poor people. We don't think so. But yes, government decide everything. Does that mean the government is like
the proper things to
is
do.
doing things properly? No, absolutely not.
Look at
I
how
believe
like
most of the time the private does.
So
better
if we
than
had
the
more
public.
women in government, maybe our society would be more equal.
I'm just
Maybe
saying,
it would
like,
be.
maybe I should choose your words wisely. Maybe you should say, I want to be the driver instead of the one that's being
But you
driven.
know the one.
You already-
But that's not giving like boss as like.
But the boss does
that's
not
not giving
drive.
boss as queen. Like,
The boss doesn't drive.
the boss doesn't
I'm
drive.
just saying the boss doesn't
The,
drive.
I don't
like,
flip.
the boss,
Like you think that
The
that
driver drives.
It's not giving. It's not
you
giving.
think that a CEO
And the
of
driver's not the
McDonald's
boss.
is the one flipping burgers?
I'm still.
And
he has to do the work,
and do you
obviously.
know
He
what
pays
kind?
you to
No,
do it.
do you know what kind of work I could be doing while
you're
being
driving.
driven?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course.
Like,
of course,
you
but
think-
you're still doing the work.
Yeah,
Like
it could be on an
being
important
driven is
call.
not doing the work.
Being driven is
It's
not doing the
It's
work.
doing other
Being
work.
driven is
Okay,
a
so-
thought. Driving
so-
is literally the action.
Okay.
Okay,
So
but
I
I'm gonna
mean,
tell you
like-
something. The higher you go in society, in any area,
Yeah.
the less work you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, they pay me
Because
for
you
my
done
mind.
solo work.
Society
But
convince
your
you that-
decision matters most.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
The
that's
decision.
but
But
that's the
he
thing.
said-
She could be
he
making
said
Like
the driver doesn't-
I'm
I don't
not.
agree with him.
But we literally just said.
I'm paid for my mind. I am not paid for my physical labor.
Exactly.
And
I
the
am
more
too.
I get good at my job, the more people go out of the way to pay me good money for my mind. So the last thing I am going to do is not get a driver because I'm trying to pretend like I'm a boss.
And
I just
women
like-
have mastered that, where they don't have to do physical labor, but they're getting paid for their mind.
Yes.
That is something. So
That's
that
tough,
emotional
too.
intelligence, that's where it is.
And being a president, you're being paid
Emo-
for how you
yeah.
think.
Exactly.
Pay for how you think and like do
Do what?
No.
like make actions. Like
No.
you're
No,
act-
as a leader, you
No.
don't. You're paid
A
for
lot
what
of the
you
you have
time-
a team. You have a team for
A lot
sure
of
to do the things that you think.
Yeah.
But the way you think is not going
I
to get
think
you in that.
I
in
think
the-
it's
in that
really
seat, you feel me?
interesting. I think it's really interesting how you've been convinced.
Okay.
Convinced, 100%. You're convinced that for some reason, label work has more value than non-laborious work.
I mean, it's the opposite.
And it's really, and like to me, it really goes to show what the government is doing to our minds, because they're really telling us that let go of your mind and let's focus on the doing. When really it's like it's the most ridiculous thing
But
that
that's-
you want.
but that's what
But
it is,
but to be fair, a government that wants to move does not want intellectual people.
Yeah.
They don't want thinkers. They don't want that, because
That's why they
if
get
you
shot
there's a whole bunch of
first.
thinkers, then they can't be going and corrupting and moving however they want to move. So if you're focused on doing stuff and you're not focused on thinking it through, you're not paying attention. And you can't call out if you're not paying attention. You can't call out if you're not connecting the dot. You can't do that when you're so busy being in the active.
Check this right quick. So I literally said, would you rather be driven or the driver? We literally both said I'd rather be the driver. When all you guys literally said,
That's why we
I'd
should
rather
be
be the
president.
passenger princess.
But that's why we should be president.
It's
But
like-
you're, because I'm gonna explain you what. Okay, I'm gonna explain you where you made a mistake. It's not the driving part that you gotta understand what they're talking about. You go to the because I drive, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
You can be driving without driving.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the nuance. That's what they're talking
like
about.
the fact that you're driving doesn't tell you you're choosing where the fuck you're going, how fast you're gonna get there. It just means that I'm telling you I need to be there by 9. That's where we're going. Your job is to make sure we get there.
Exactly. You're not choosing the direction.
You're not
I'm
choosing the direction. You're not choosing the destination.
The work, but I'm still saying,
exactly.
where are we going?
You're losing that argument.
I'm paying you so I'm not late, and I don't want to have to worry about it, because if I have to worry about it, your ass is getting fired.
But it's almost like I don't know why, but like for some reason women tend to be more emotional.
We're not more emotional. That's a weird thing to
like,
me.
Of course, like,
But you know,
of course it's not true.
I think it's good because when I say emotional, what is it? Energy in motion. That means I got all this energy to put in motion.
Okay. Of course, it's not true that women are more emotional than men. However, he literally cannot say he can't say I agree if I'm sad. Like, he's literally been conditioned since a baby to not feel emotional.
But that's a different thing.
It really is not.
It is.
It really is not.
Okay.
Because
okay.
if he's conditioned to feel this way, like
Okay.
since birth, then he's always gonna like think, do, and not be stuck in his emotions.
Okay. So there's
Women tend to be emotions.
There's
then
a
do the
difference.
action.
So emotions are happening regardless.
Of course.
Okay,
But
wait.
as long as they act on it or
Let me,
not.
exactly. So emotion happen regardless.
Right.
And then there's like a process. So the emotion is happening. Like, it doesn't care. It doesn't wait for you. It's just like, I'm here. Like, wait, I'm here. I'm angry. I'm upset. Like, I'm here.
5 more minutes on this topic, then go into our
And then the second thing is, the first thing is you have to acknowledge it. There's a lot of y'all that decide not to acknowledge it. When you choose not to acknowledge a problem, you're giving away your power to control the solution to the problem. As women, we're not into the business of giving away our power. We've done that for way too long. So we're going to acknowledge and we're going to do something about it. So it's either you're just going to let it pass, or you're going to go and talk about it, or you're going to try to figure out what triggered that emotion. Because I am not trying to continue to feel that way and to have that emotion control me. If you decide not to acknowledge that emotion, it means that you get controlled by your emotion and you just don't know what to do about it.
I want to go more into that before you say something. It's like when something triggers you, it's only because you haven't learned how to heal it within yourself. That's why it's triggering.
But the little nuance that I want to add to what you said.
But I just wanted to go back on it because that was for him.
Wait, I got you. It's not about, because you got to understand, you said you had to understand the emotion. Like something happened at that moment. We're going to go to the example that I use, like I lost my job. And you wanted to know about it. And for me, as an emotion, I'm like, okay, I lost my job. Because I'm trying to go to the logic part of it, the reason why I need another job today, I don't have time to grasp on the emotion part of I don't have time to grasp on the part of emotion, the emotion part of it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It does exist, but I go fix the problem. So this, and I'm telling you how we take that, like how we.
Do you know that that's the reason? Do you know that's the reason why men die faster than women?
Probably.
Okay.
And we do dumb stuff too every day.
And it's like because emotions, like she says, is energy in motion. Why would you want that negative energy to stay with you longer than it needs to be?
But it doesn't, because I go fix the problem.
So you think it doesn't?
It
that's cute.
I understand.
brought it into your.
Listen, I totally understand what you mean, but you still have to like pay attention to what he said. That whole processing thing about emotions, we don't do that.
Yeah, I know. That's
but
the
that's
skills
the
that
whole
we're.
point. That's the
we're-
point. Literally, like politicians will literally make that excuse over and over again about science.
What?
About like women will literally think about her emotions and then act. Well, men don't even care.
You know what?
And then
So
do,
You know
and
what?
then think
You
about
know
the
the thing.
emotions,
You
like,
know.
the next
You know
You
the
missed
thing
the
that's
part
cute.
which-
You know the thing that's cute about that. It's because you don't process your emotions. You haven't learned the magical thing, and I'm gonna give it to you,
Okay.
ladies. Are you guys ready? You can do two things at once. I know.
multitasking.
I know, I know. It's wild. It's so wild. You can process emotion and act. We don't have to do one or the other. We're so good at it that we can do them at the same time.
Listen, I definitely think that's an opinionated fact. I know because like.
Oh, that's a
I've
nugget.
definitely heard that before, where it's like you can multitask, but then it's like there's.
No,
facts
women
that
can
you
do
can't-
that. They
You
can
know
talk and piss you off at the same time.
Hey.
That's for sure. They can do that.
At least you want to say anything before Cindy goes into German
No.
comments.
But listen. At the end of the day, I definitely believe women could be president all day, every day.
Are we still there?
That was the point.
We always
That
believe
was the
shit.
point.
I definitely still believe that, of course, but it's like at the end of the day.
But he's saying what's stopping us is our emotions.
Hey.
Whereas that's what's
At
stopping
the end
you
of the
guys
day-
from putting us in position.
At the end of the
Because you
day.
believe not acknowledging your emotion means you're not going to be influenced by them, but it doesn't.
But I can tell you why we don't do it.
The reason why we use the term emotional intelligence is because I'm able to acknowledge how my feelings are going to, like,
Get impact.
yeah,
Yeah.
influence what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I take into account that I am feeling
She
this
didn't say
way.
end first.
She's
She
not
didn't say
getting
end
this
paragraph.
I know,
I am
haven't
feeling
said shit.
this way, so I might act this way and that way.
That's
I'm able
wrong,
to
the way
remove
they
that
think,
and
still.
act the proper way.
That's
But
the wrong way
because
to think,
because
bro.
you don't acknowledge your emotion, you don't see how your emotion are.
But I can't tell you
We
why.
do acknowledge the emotion.
You remember the gap that we were talking about?
What
You
emotion?
you have the pleasure.
The pleasure.
You have the pleasure of actually acknowledging all that. Where us,
We're literally conditioned young.
But I want to say, is it about going somewhere fast or is it about going somewhere, long term at a solution? So,
Long
that's
term,
that's
for real.
exactly. So if they're taking the time to process it, they're
Like it's,
thinking,
and it always,
usually that's what men
and it's
are
so
supposed
funny
to be
because
doing,
I
to
had
be
a,
taking it long to be taking you
I-
to a long
at,
journey.
at work we had a course about strategic thinking, right? And it's so funny to me because everybody was just like, yeah, you need to go into problem solving. And there's a lot of guys, problem solving, and what are we gonna do, and da 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 da, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Like I see a lot of y'all are stressed, but like I look at problem solving in the same way that I look at playing basketball, right? When somebody is in my face, I got three options. A lot of people think they have two. It's either you shoot or you dribble. I'm gonna step back and look at the court. I'm passing the ball. Or I'm doing nothing because I'm running the clock. I'm analyzing all my options because I'm not gonna let you drive me into making a rush decision. Are you crazy? And the reason why you're pressing me is because you can't get me. You can't get me. The defense too hard. Like you're never gonna get it. You're about to call a foul right now and you're about to be off the court. You gotta take the time to stop and think.
Yeah,
Of course.
this actually
I feel
taught
like
me
men do
something
for
because
sure, but
I
it's
was
like-
thinking when men were problem solving, they're actually thinking long term, and now
They're not. They're just doing. They're just like popper chicken.
No.
Popcorn chicken. Let's pop. And I'm like, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. And you can only come to that conclusion if you take the time to think. Voila. Thank you.
When it comes to
He's just like it's hard because of the basketball thing, because I agree with you, because
I definitely agree with having three options, right? But honestly, when it comes to literally a fucking the most extreme situation, I don't want to think this, but if there's a terrorist attack, right? In my mind, majority of the women are gonna be scared at first.
But you should be scared at first.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay,
to
so
me, to
so
us,
what
it's
would
gonna
you
be
do? So
we're
what
gonna
would
be
you
okay,
do?
stoic.
we're like, okay, what to do? You know,
We're gonna
okay,
think about it, obviously, but we're gonna be stoic. To me, in my head,
What are you gonna do?
Is that women are gonna be more feminine, more vulnerable.
There's a terrorist.
You know
I'm
why?
just oh shit,
You know why?
I don't know what to do.
No,
I'm
it's not
thinking,
that.
and it's
The fear is
no.
supposed to fuel your energy to want to protect your
Exactly.
community, not freeze. There's fight, flight,
Flight or
freeze,
flight.
right?
Yeah, freeze.
So you have to condition yourself to act accordingly.
I know, but that little sense of like
That's what you think.
that whole. I'm
women's
just telling
fear
you
is stopping them.
that whole little split second that you guys think about emotions. We leave that part out.
But you know
because
what?
We
You're
just
not-
You
know
know
how to
what?
make
You know
it
what?
at
You know what the
end of day
difference? You know, this is the difference.
Okay.
Okay. 9/11. Okay. Okay. So you want to talk about fear and freezing? What do you remember what the president in the United States in 9/11 did when he heard that the United States of America, the greatest and the most powerful nation, is currently under attack? What did he do?
It was well.
Well, guess what? And was he a woman?
Let's
I feel like there's a difference between freezing and then like being grown and be like huffing and puffing.
Okay.
I think there's different.
Oh no, so you prefer the?
puff and puff.
We're gonna keep reading that children's book.
I really feel like it's like.
And then they went,
oh shit.
Mr.
Like,
President.
Like when something's happening to us, we kind of like sit down
Mr.
for a second
President.
and, like, kind of like.
Mr. President, we are under attack.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I understand.
That's where we'll end. With
So where were we?
Okay,
I
Peppa
wanna ask
Pig.
you guys, so this is questions from the public. Then, is there any questions in the chat, just in case?
A woman could definitely.
And then, so we're gonna, and then I want to end because I feel like we never ended our point in new era, right? Which is what like the solutions for the new era going forward with harmonious relationships and so are. So we'll end with that. But first question: do you guys believe in 50-50 relationships?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Besides him, but
No, but I like how you said it. 100-100.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, but that's what they say. Like,
I
every,
like the 50-50.
But
Yeah,
that's
I
just
like-
bad math.
no, because people say that to make it sound like, oh, it's
Yeah.
different, or
Because
it's
100 is just 1-to-1. That's just still 50-50. I'm just saying.
Like 60, 40,
No, but you're
40,
putting
60.
your whole. You're putting
Yeah.
all
I'm
of
giving the best of me and you're giving
Right.
the best of
Exactly,
you.
exactly.
That's
You're
it.
giving half of yourself.
It's not
Sometimes the
always
best
gonna
of you
be-
will be 80% of the
Yeah,
relationship.
it depends
Sometimes
on the
best of
day.
you will be 70% of the relationship, but at least I'm giving the best and you're giving the
Yeah.
best, and that's it.
That's why.
but that's gonna bring it back to the roles that you guys don't like.
So you do clinical research for what segment?
I do really everything. So right now I work as project management for clinical research. So I touch.
For like data and stuff? For like.
No, I do like I work at the Sacré-Cœur,
Okay.
and
I'm a PhD.
I coordinate different project management. So you could do psychology, you could do neurology. It doesn't matter.
Okay. No, the reason why I ask is just because I like 50-50 in the same way that my DNA split. I get 50 from my parents, 50 from, 50 from one, 50 for the other, and then they get a whole of me. So that's kind of like why I like the 50-50 relationship and
Do
thing.
you think it's really?
Because I hope they're not giving me 100% of their DNA age, because that's going to be a weird looking child. I'm just saying.
I just think that by the 50-50 like forces you to keep track. Oh, I'm doing this, and you're doing this, and then we're adding up, and we're trying to be like, okay.
But then it's like a fucking score, like at the end of the day.
I don't like keeping scores.
No,
that's the
not
part.
the way to go. Still.
I'm gonna be better at something than you, and you will be
course.
better at some things than me, and we just have to.
Like, it's so funny because when I heard that question, I just like, I ain't splitting my bill 50-50 shit.
But technically, you're not even supposed to split your bills 50-50.
As a woman.
That's
No,
the reason why I
it's-
said no.
If we want to go with equity and stuff like that, it's 50-50 to the amount that the two, like let's say I make 100K and my partner makes
150.
150. We can, wait, yeah, sure. We can just be like, we're going to split the bill 50-50.
So how are we splitting the
So
bill?
you know what?
No, but tell me, how do you
Let's talk
split the
about
bill?
finance. How do you split your finance? With
For me, okay, there's two ways of saying it. It's
He was
me, the
going
way
with
I would
50.
do it, or the reality. The reality is we don't spend, because you make more, you're probably going to spend a little bit more on stuff compared to me. 150 and 100, it's almost the same.
Yes.
But make a difference between 100 and a lady that makes 30K.
It's literally like.
You really want them
don't
to
know.
go
I
split?
don't know, how is 100 and 150 the same? Because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's a third bigger than your original salary.
Yeah, but the tax is gonna screw you up a little bit, so you're gonna go down a little bit, like a
And the
notch.
100 doesn't get screwed by taxes.
Why I go to that example, I want you to make it's not about the money, it's about the example. If your partner makes 30 you make 70. You can't ask him to pay half of the rent.
So how do you do? Like,
You,
what's
you,
your
you, it's like the math is simple. You equate what's the difference between the
Pareto?
yeah.
Okay. So, for
You do it
example,
based on your
I'll
salary.
put 30% of my salary into like paying the bills, and you put
put
30%, but your 30% is more because you make more money.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
It's so funny because I obviously threw that 150 on it because he was just like,
No,
He
I wasn't.
was gonna go lower.
Yeah, but if I can go with 150, 100. Because when I use the example of 100, I was going for a low number.
of
just
course
to
I
make it
know,
sound-
I know you were.
You didn't trick
All
me.
right, guys.
I didn't like,
Two more
hey, what you saying?
questions. We have 2 more questions. Is it possible for a man to put his pride aside? This was for the men. Pride aside when it comes to love.
He should.
I think.
Ooh.
We're gonna have a secret huddle. What do we think?
I think actually, it's a very unisex question. Actually,
Yeah, everyone
But
should.
this was the women. A woman asked this. Yeah, we can
It
ask it to the
depe-
women right after if you.
It depends on the okay the
Don't say
pride.
the woman.
damn, I already honest.
How does it depend
Depends
on
on
the
the
woman? You
project.
choose your woman. So if you choose the right woman,
I
should
never
you-
said it choose. It depends on the woman.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I was about to say it depends on the act, the action, the reason why you have to put your pride aside. If it's just to,
Your pride isn't everything?
it's not everything.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna cry in front of a movie just because like hey, let me cry. No, for me I'm like hey buddy, don't let's go watch an action
What
movie.
if the movie's actually sad?
Why would I watch a sad movie?
No, for real.
So is it yes or no? Is it possible for a man to put his pride aside when it comes to love?
Of course.
Yes.
That's like a.
So they wanted to say it's a unisex question. So is it possible for a woman to put her pride aside when it comes?
Wrong
Yes,
answer.
and I think women do it all the time.
Yeah.
More than us for
Life
sure.
does not go around if we don't. Like, society as such does not work if we don't constantly have to like compromise on our pride and our values and our belief
And
system.
also,
and
you call that pride, we call that duty. Also, life doesn't go around if we don't do our part of the.
Oh, right.
baby boy, I'm fine. I do just fine.
No, he was
But
making a point.
And
but
there
you're gonna
is-
call a man to go fix stuff that you don't want to like you.
No, I'm gonna call a person. I never said it was a man.
I mean, it's
But most
most
of the time, it's the men who do those kind of jobs.
Like what?
What I'm
Like
Changing the
construction,
fire.
coming to fix the plumbing.
I hear you with.
I don't know why you definitely know what's going on.
But you know what? Like the best interior designers are, okay, and the best chefs are,
Man, I
okay.
agree.
And it's funny that they expect me to be in the kitchen. I'm just saying.
But
Like, if we're going with logic.
But also,
Hold on.
wait, time out, I got this. But also, when you go into your house, like, okay, you guys met.
Jessica's gonna
like,
die.
the first thing first, a single man house
Yeah.
look like when you see it, it looks like just a dump. Like you gotta rechange, rearrange
Nah, it looks
everything.
good.
Every
It
man.
looks good. As
Wait, most of men, I'm sorry.
most
Come
of my
on.
guy friends, they have like stellar homes.
Yeah.
Like
Listen,
I'm
you have to
jealous.
say most men.
They're
Like I'm actually.
Around exceptional man.
Thank you.
I can agree with that. Yo, wrap it up.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Do you have a last question? Did you have a last?
No, we answered that question. We're gonna do the part 4 or 5.
How should society handle men's emotions?
We should let them have them.
Yes.
Create a safe space for them to have them, to not have them living their emotion being held against their manhood, because it should be an integral part of what a man is, to express, to feel his emotion, to go through it, and to not have that used against him. Oh my God.
No, yeah, I agree. I think we all agree that we should. It should be like it's a free, we want it to be like a free space for them to express their emotions.
But we're never gonna create that space. It has
Who
to
has
come
to
from
create
you.
No,
Really?
Yeah.
no,
For real, for real.
no.
You literally have to say
So
that.
how do we do that for you?
No, I just, like, we're gonna go into negotiation. I'm telling you, I'm not going, I want 20% more of anything I came in through for that to happen. What are you willing to give up?
how you can do it. It's just, it has to, for me, what I believe, it has to be in a one-on-one situation. You and your partner.
What do I get out of it?
What do you get out of it? A better man, a better partner.
What do I get out of it?
A better partner.
Because he becomes a better person, that's for himself. What do I get out of it?
And because of that, a better partner for you.
The better you are, the better
You remember that guy that you...
No, I really want that 20% for myself. Like, cause
I don't
when
understand your question
okay,
then.
so what she said earlier was emotional attention, that's a therapist's job. So the therapist gets money for making you, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I want that 20%. Like, I'm being serious.
You want money.
Like, I want the fact that if we went 50-50 on the down payment, then it's 70% my house now.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Why?
Wait, 70%?
Like, I want that 20%. I want that 20%. How? Hey.
50-50 on a down payment. You want 70%?
I want compensation. If I'm gonna
Pretty much what she's saying, in other words, is like, what you bring to the table, it's not enough.
That's not what I said.
You basically said that.
But
I said that.
Everything you bring
No.
20%.
But because for you, if I understand what
She
you
said,
said,
if I'm helping you heal through this, then I need to get.
I
then
said
it's vice
that.
versa,
I
literally.
said if you put the sole responsibility on me to help you heal, then I want 20%. And how is that unfair?
Okay, that makes sense. but
Oh,
obviously-
now it's okay, honey. Come on, listen.
He's obviously not like. It's obviously not just like.
don't give her that. It's not true. Stop it. Stop it. Don't give her that credit.
They're doing the work. You're helping him through the work.
Okay, so students.
Because we're gonna benefit.
Students do the work, teachers still get paid.
We're gonna
Like, I'm
benefit.
confused.
But it's a
We're
vice
gonna
versa
benefit.
thing, no?
The kid that we're gonna have also gonna have your name.
Huh?
The kid that we're gonna have also gonna have your
So
name.
I have another question.
I want
If I'm
20%.
helping you emotionally, what are you bringing that I'm not able to do
The
without
physical
you?
substance.
Okay.
I already had that.
But like,
Really,
it's the
do
physical
you?
stuff. We do the physical and you help us with the emotional. Like,
Okay.
it makes
You remember
sense.
earlier
What are
when?
you doing physically?
So you're
Starting
grounded
off
already.
fucking
Wait a minute.
We
So-
already said that I'm cooking and
Honey.
cleaning,
I know,
so.
it's like,
Sin.
Trish
You
came
already
with the
you grounded.
receipts.
You wanted that person to ground you. You wanted that moment where you get home. You're not like it's home. He's there. You safe. If something happened, you know your man is gonna be there. You know your man's gonna die for you.
literally.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Said they would die for love.
Most men die for you.
For their family and their, yeah.
Not true. I can give you that.
So for me, when she asked you the question earlier to say something about 35 seconds, you gotta say something. I mean, in my head, I'm like, why do I have to prove myself? I would die for you. Why do I have to?
Word, like,
Woo!
Be willing to die then.
Okay.
Yeah, and you better also do your part of the
that's what
deal.
I'm saying. It's a vice versa type shit. Like, that's so weird.
It's not one-sided.
But
So-
Trish
That's
said
not
she wants 20%.
one-sided, bro.
She doesn't want your
Wrap that
man.
up. We're gonna talk off camera.
Last tip, each woman, what do you want the men to hear? What do you want to leave today with men hearing?
Why you laughing?
You understand?
No.
Okay, so this is how I feel. I feel like if we're going to be very honest about the society that we live in, and that everything is economically driven, if you want us to put more than we're already putting on the table, you have to be willing to recognize that, and you have to be able to compensate for it.
Amen.
Either emotionally and support, and like splitting chores and actually raising your own children, not helping me raise your kids, but helping, like, you have to be able to like compromise.
You know, G's background, because we have to wrap it up in 5 minutes. That's why it was a silence, the awkward silence.
Yeah. Well, nowadays
May
in this
23.
society, women do as much work as men, so you can't expect us to be doing the exact same
We're
things
actually
that.
doing more.
Okay, the same and more we do the same. Like, we go to a 9-to-5 job just like you. We still come home and have to do this, that. So we expect you guys to also be stepping your game up.
So if I tell you the 9 to 5, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to do it 20 hours a week.
Who are you to decide what I want to do in my life?
That's my point.
What if I like working? What if it provides me like
And what if I make
But he keeps
150K and you make 100? Like, that don't make sense.
You
The
can
math
still
ain't
leave
mathing.
100K.
So you just want us to like,
You can leave 100K.
yeah, but
If I was making 45, that example would make sense. Okay.
No, but I don't want to live on 100K when I
But
can
you-
make 100.
you wanna keep up with the
lower my
Joneses?
life standard just because you make less money?
And it goes back to my point. How am I losing in lifestyle by going into a relationship with you?
It's all good. Yeah. We're not gonna start another
Okay. And what's your
scene.
No, she didn't finish.
No. She's 23.
I'm done.
If I'm doing all that and more, what was the conclusion? What is it that you want?
No, yeah, no, I said, yeah, that you guys need, and you can't expect us to be doing all the things that the women used to do back in the
100%.
day, because that's not where we're at right now in life.
100%. I agree with you. Men need to step up, for sure. 100%. You losers at home, you need to fucking step up.
Okay.
I think they said everything. Men need to step up. They need to compensate women for what they have to do for them.
Compensate?
Yeah, in some way.
Yeah.
And, but I think at the end of the day, we
Like,
still love you. We still need you. We still.
No,
we're
no,
not
that's a
willing-
lie. Most
we're
of you
not
don't
willing
need
to-
us.
I'm,
She said it.
Listen, you gotta listen. You gotta just take it in. You can't.
We still need you. Take the win, Gee.
I mean, we still want you.
but not at any cost. Like we still
That
want
you,
you.
I respect your answer more than hers, because it's a want, it's not a need. You don't need men anymore. You want a
Exactly.
man, and that's one of the issues that we have. Because most of the time we want to be needed
You
more
want to be
than
needed?
wanted, and this is what we're not vulnerable with.
But we still need men.
Why they're not?
We still need men. I mean, how else am I gonna have a kid?
Oh, you can have a kid
if I
without
don't
You can have a kid. She works at the Fondation. She can,
But where are you
she can
getting
walk
this
you
from?
through all the-
Yeah, you still need the man.
You still need, yeah.
I
It's
just
still
need
a
a portion
I
man.
of
don't
him.
need the men.
I just need.
men's sperm.
Exactly.
But we need men. We need men. We need men.
Without men, there's no sperm.
There's exactly.
It's okay.
We need
It's
them.
fine.
There's no way they're going anywhere.
Listen, this is the reason why. This is the reason why we have passport
She's
bros.
saying we're stuck
Because
with
we're gonna
Yeah.
go overseas.
But why do you feel? Why do you need to feel needed?
It's not.
It's a more complex.
On the
conversation.
next episode.
That's the thing. We need a part 5 on that one. You see?
Thank you
I'm gonna
guys
write
for
it down.
Sharing your thoughts. I hope you guys learned a lot through this discussion. We will be doing this every season, so the next one will be
What are you writing down?
next February. I think one thing to take is that men and women do need each other, need to be in service of each other, at least biologically and functionally. We do live in the world together, so you know, être humain, c'est être avec les humains.
Fuck them.
So we need to learn how to transition into this new era, basically. So that's all for the season, for this In the Mind of Men and Women.
It's not over. We're gonna go with episode 5. I'm
we're
trying to
gonna go
convince her
back.
in the background.
We're gonna try to make it into a podcast, but we're gonna go back into our regular every 2-week episodes. The next one is going to be Bursting with Spirituality. There is a giveaway for this season, for this series. So if you guys have been watching all 4 episodes, then write to me at justflowkofi@gmail.com and give me 1 point that you guys took from each episode, and you'll have the chance to win a 5 milliliter lemon essential oil. So that's pretty much, guys. I hope you guys have a good Sunday. We're gonna
I always
continue
make
our
that
discussion
joke.
off camera. This season will come back. This series will come back next season.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for having us.
Kenzo?
This is dead.
Kenzo?